In 2007, the Economist Intelligence Unit conducted research sponsored by Cisco on the growing role of collaboration within and among organizations. The Economist Intelligence Unit had full editorial control over the research. The opinions presented here do not necessarily reflect the views of Cisco.
Collaboration. People, young and old, have always come together to solve a common problem. And today, many business leaders are recognizing that collaborative work environments are indispensable to their organization's success. So the question is, as competition and opportunities become more and more global, how well are companies, governments, and their partners collaborating today, and what are the keys to successful collaboration? A recent study conducted by the world-renowned research group, the Economist Intelligence Unit, or EIU, helps us answer these questions.
We surveyed about 400 executives around the world and asked them for their opinions about collaboration. In addition, we conducted about 35 in-depth interviews with executives from companies like GlaxoSmithKline and General Motors.
What we found was that companies have a long way to go. Everybody understands that collaboration is important. The good news is nobody needs to be convinced. People are ready and willing to collaborate. The bad news, though, is that leaders are not leading companies towards collaboration.
The study found that while most executives believe collaboration is beneficial, they aren't providing the leadership to create an effective collaborative culture.
The fact is that most people, leaders and non-leaders alike, have a pretty seat-of-the-pants approach to collaboration. They expect it to happen without a lot of planning and forethought. When employees collaborate successfully, their achievements are not being publicized. They are not being rewarded. There are no formal processes for collaboration.
Collaboration is difficult to measure. This may be one reason why it still doesn't get the spotlight when organizations look at their bottom-line successes.
We found that only about 20% had made any effort to measure collaboration or the benefits of collaboration. Most of the people who tried to measure collaboration ended up saying something like, we know collaboration is good, we know it's important, we know that it is helping us to reach our business objectives and that it has value. But the evidence is anecdotal. We don't quite know how to get a handle on it.
The EIU study did find several companies that can articulate the benefits they're receiving from collaboration. Unit 7, an ad agency based in New York, is one of the case studies.
They were having problems with the lack of cooperation, the lack of collaboration between their account officers and their creative team. They weren't able to create proposals that generated business, and they weren't able to retain the customers that they had. They developed a program to encourage the account officers and the creative people to work together much more closely and to take the creative people out on sales calls so that they could talk directly to the clients. That kind of team approach resulted in better proposals, happier clients, and more retention of business. Their revenues increased by 25 to 30% a year.
Because collaboration has been so key to Unit 7's continued growth, the agency heralded its collaborative culture in its marketing materials.
The advantage of a collaborative environment means that everyone is working together with all different thoughts and ideas, and the best decisions could come from anyone in the agency.
GlaxoSmithKline is another case study profiled by the EIU that effectively uses collaboration.
They built a collaboration center with open architecture, which allowed a freer mixing and a flatter hierarchy. They were able to set up meetings faster, make decisions more quickly. They were able to bring together people with different functions so that they could come up with the kind of unique ideas that Glaxo hopes will increase their revenues in the future.
While these companies highlight the elements of a successful collaborative culture, the EIU study found that most industries still have a lot of work to do.
One of the things that the companies that were successful in collaborating had in common was high-level senior management support. That was the key ingredient in making them successful. If you're going to build a functioning collaborative network, you need to be clear about your objectives, your processes, how you're going to measure it, how you're going to reward it. And all of that is missing at most companies, even large companies. We should look at the companies that have been successful and use those companies as inspiration for developing collaboration processes going forward.